What if I tell you traffic is not only limited to cars, but also a sea of people trying to get inside a subway line? Welcome back to Seoul Quest. Let's talk about rush hour in China. Now imagine wasting 3 hours of your vacation time inside a tobacco smoke-filled taxi. Now, if you wait till the end of the video, I'll tell you the best way to avoid that, but also cut down your commute time in half. First of all, there are 3 phases when it comes to traffic in general. The first one is the early mornings, typically around 6:30 a.m. up to 8 a.m. And the second phase will be during the lunch hour, 12 to 2. And the third phase will be in the evening, like 5 to 7 p.m. There are 2 types of traffic. So first, let's talk about the typical traffic, and that is inside of a taxi. Typically, you'll be stuck inside in the morning phase or either in the late evening phase when people just got out of work. Usually, you can't really get out of the taxi, but if they do have a safe spot, for example, you are getting stuck here in the streets, but you really want to get out, they do have to find like a sidewalk for you to drop off in. But what happens if you're inside like an Uber, which is Didi over here? Typically, you would still pay for the full fare, but you can still get out anywhere you want if there is a sidewalk the same way as it is in taxi. Now, same thing happened to me when I was in Xiamen. We went during the Chinese holiday and we were stuck inside the Didi for about 2.5 hours. And finally got out like outside the tunnel and we just started walking and blasting off out of there. But we still pay for the full fare. Next, let's talk about the pedestrian traffic. So usually in the mornings or either in the late evening, you would be waiting in line to get inside major subways. Usually these are at the cross path between 2 lines or either very major hub spot for communities. Now, a good example of this will be the Pingzhou station. Like, not only that it's a big community, but also the main street food center hub near a mall and also near a business center as well. Now, another major traffic spot will be around schools. Now, typically around 5 to 6 p.m., you would have major pedestrian traffic along with car traffic as well. If you see school around the area, try to avoid that place because that's going to be crowded for the next hour, because students are running around, and in most cases, schools don't have an organized way for a pickup station for these kids, because usually most of them are near major roads or either narrow roads. Now, if you find yourself in the pedestrian traffic, what should you do? Now, to get into the subway at the first place, I think it's a bit more civilized and organized because there will be guards making sure that everybody's in line and nobody's cutting in line. Now, the first phase is, of course, this whole security check where you get your bag check, etc. like that. And this is still organized. But once you try to get into the entrance of the subway itself, waiting for the subway, this is when things start to get a bit chaotic because there's only one person to manage everything and they're not gonna manage every single person. So what usually happens is that people would shove right in front of you or either just cut in line in front of you. What should you do? I know this might not be comfortable for a lot of Western out there, but you gotta like shove your body like straight ass to ass with other pedestrian as well. Because if you have a gap, just like a 1-inch gap, you can bet your ass someone would slip in there and push in their grandma, their 3 families, along with their 3 other relevant families inside there. And it'll take you hours to get inside the subway at the first place. Now, another chaotic part is actually getting inside the subway. Sometimes you gotta squeeze yourself in along with the other pedestrian and just embrace it. Now, the best way to avoid any motor traffic, in my opinion, the best way to avoid that is just go early in the morning or either between 3 to 5 p.m. because this is a sweet spot where people are still working and it's too early for them to go home as well. There will be some minor traffic, but it wouldn't be too bad. Now, as for pedestrian traffic, another hack is just use one of these like ride-sharing bike and then go one subway over or under with the least amount of community, and you would encounter less problems out there, less pedestrian traffic. But when it comes to touristy places, I don't think you can really avoid it because most of the time we all go on holidays or either Saturday and Sundays, and these touristy places are full of people and you just gotta embrace the skin and let it touch each other and like wait in line in general. But yeah, I think that's the whole gist of hall traffics in China in general. You just gotta embrace it or either go in early or maybe a tad bit later. And if you have any question or you have any interesting story, comment down below. I would like to know. Until next time, Seoul Quest logging out. Peace.
Solo